You're back to 20, and I guess you're probably wondering that as well.
Tell the patient first, if his shoulder is right and he can get back to being in, especially in their AFC South division, you know, they can play with people. But without Andrew Luck, is Jacoby
Again, it's Gore. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Take it down to the 42. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. How about this for an opening drive decision? You got 4th and short, just outside of field goal range in all likelihood. What do?
I'm going for it. I've got to go get it right now. I want to establish a tone. It's early in the game. I want to let my offense know that I believe in them. And you know something else? I let my defense know I believe in them also by taking that gamble. If we don't get it, it's okay. You guys will cover for me.
Foles. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Here's Foles. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And they're going to get this one up past the 25. A good pickup there at 22.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Now Foles.
Miss a play right from the beginning. Get all your guys to the football and spill the play. That's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
This is Ajayi. He finds an opening past the 40. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
They run with Ajayi. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Don't forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he's able to hold on to the football.
He'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
So on fourth down, here's the veteran left-footed punter Donnie Jones to kick it away. And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
Well, the Indianapolis Colts finished 3-13 in 2017 as their offense comes back out onto the field. Yeah, you mentioned earlier the offensive line maybe needing some help. Look at all the times that Jacoby Brissett was sacked. I think he said it 52 times. They need maybe some more assistance, though, than just the O-line.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The defense was 30th overall. So you've got to find some guys who can stop a few people as well. And one GM in the league has told me consistently over time, Davis, it's always going to be a big man's game. They need some big people to fill those roles and start to help this team out.
You mean literally big people?
I'm talking big people, offensive, defensive linemen to help them transform.
Another carry now for Gore. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. A gain of a yard gets him back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
The Colts send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. But he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
The ball, because I thought their front office did a fantastic job of having answers in case things happen. Carson Wentz goes out. Well, they had signed Nick Foles to back him up. That worked out pretty well. Getting Alshon Jeffrey as a weapon outside to help them in the passing game. Darren Sproles gets hurt at running back. Corey Clement was signed as an undrafted free agent. He filled in well, and they traded for Jay Ajayi. And how about Jason Peters losing the all-world left tackle? And Halapoulivaati Vaitai, who they drafted the year before, filled in quite capably. They had answers for everything they needed.
Here's Ajayi. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action and hit them over the top.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can skip.
And look at this, another fake, and he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool him.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still first down.
the penalty. It's goal. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. To throw on second down is Newton. Throw left side complete. That's Doyle. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
False start, offense.
And that'll set him back 5.
Still third down.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. They fake the give. Newton. And that is incomplete.
I know every coach talks about respecting the ball, taking care of the ball, but when it's 3rd and long like that, you're triggered, man. He wants to make a play. And on that one, he's trying to force one downfield to make that play. It just didn't work out.
Yeah, he tried to make the play. A little risky, but it fell incomplete. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl. But 3rd MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. But he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9.
Yeah.
He go all the way back to Kurt Warner in, what, 1999, where he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
Yeah, he still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles for Brady. They'll set up to throw. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. They'll look to throw now on first down. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways. Now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now it's Ajayi. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here.
Not an ideal spot to be on first down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in second and manageable.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done